Good morning, my neighbors. I am still having, I don't know what's going on with this doggone thing. I cannot get this camera to work properly. I did get this one fixed, so at least I have that, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. I just wanted to go ahead and just get real quick on what's going on with the market, and then we'll go ahead and talk about some of the stocks that's out there and see if we can find some things that's going on over on that side. That said, I hope y'all had a great week as far as this pushing down. You're gonna get some good discounts for some upsides, and as long as you follow your trading plan, everything should be perfectly fine. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. Looks like looks like we're coming back to test the 50 EMA. We haven't touched it, so I think we're going to wait for the morning session to actually touch the 50 EMA. I do believe we have some news. Let me make sure. Uh, do, 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 do. I do believe we have something. Yeah. Okay. So we have oil inventory, which is probably what I'm going to look back at CVX again, see if we can get some opportunities over at CVX. Check out some Exxon, check some Oxy. But I really like CVX. I played it a couple times and it's done well for me. But all inventory is going to be coming out. We had jobless claims that came in today. Ooh, whoa, wow, and vehicle sales. Wow, wow, wow. All of it is bullish for the dollar, so that's probably going to put a lot of weight to the downside. And I'm going to break down the dollar over there. But yeah, that's a lot there. And then FOMC minutes. So we may get some choppiness today with the FOMC minutes coming out. So just be very conscious with your stop losses. That's at 2 o'clock. The market will resume its normal chaos at that point. So just be mindful. Just to kind of really get y'all ahead, let's talk about Friday. Friday we do have after FOMC we have actually that's I think it's just euro. Job cuts, mortgage, we got some Fed speaking, sorry, that's Thursday, and I think okay, here's Friday. I think it was Friday. I saw a lot. Yeah, manufactured payroll, unemployment, non-farm payrolls. Another thing that everybody's probably waiting for. So a couple things that y'all need to look out for. As you know, the show is from Tuesdays to Thursdays, 9:15 to 10:15 roughly, and I'm not going to be on here on Friday. So be conscious about Friday. So today, FOMC minutes, and Friday is going to be chaos more than likely, or a lot of volatility, and those that are in the wrong position is going to panic, and those that are in the right position going to take profits. So it's going to move the market all around. All right, so that said, I think we're going to wait for some information maybe in the morning. If not the morning, we might be the FOMC minutes for us to test this 50 EMA. I don't think the Bulls want to see them test the 50 EMA. We're wide open on this MACD, and we're coming to that zero line. We're really going to test some bullish momentum if we get through here. Here is oil, and it's looking more like a W here, kind of like it wants to break back up to that upside. Look for it above 78 if it actually does do that. This is gold. Gold looks like it's trying to build itself up. Now, gold rising, it does make the dollar drop. So this is going to be very interesting with the fact that the data came in very bullish for the dollar, because they could put a lot of pressure on gold. If we do, we might break down this area here. It's already in the bearish state on the daily, but it's trying to hold this level and hold on to dear life. 2600-ish, somewhere around there. And there's a lot of objectives to answer over here. We even had some gaps that didn't finish, especially contract expiration gaps. And then this one was what kind of started the whole chaos here. And this has not been tested. So there's a lot that can happen to gold here. So just be conscious of that. Silver looks very weak, but it looks like the W is coming in. So if this turns into a failure swing, it can drag gold right back down. This is your British pound. Yeah, Yeah, the dollar's strengthening. So that's what's happening with the British pound. This breaks this support on the British pound. It's gonna embolden the dollar to continue to be bullish, and that's gonna go ahead and make this even more bearish, especially being in this bearish state. I would say if anything, we get a nice little reach to some lower lows. Let's see. Hold on. That's that. Possible reversal. They tried like two of these are bullish divergences that they tried to reverse it. They just could not get it. If this thing gets a lot of momentum and comes and tests around this area, it will not be at lower low anymore, and we're probably going to have to do something like a trend line across it and then have it test the downward pressure before anything gives out. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the British pound if you do chart that. And then natural gas, still cold in lots of areas. You can see with yesterday's action, it brought it back down, but then we're starting to push right back up. I think this is the true level that they're looking for, is somewhere around here. I wanted it to establish something, so we'll see what happens there. And then Russell is coming down with the rest of the market, so I think there's just profit taking. Yeah, just continuing as the dollar gains strength, because you want to sit on cash when the dollar gains strength. Here's the dollar trying to get that higher high, and I gave y'all this level on Tuesday, and I said, hey, I think this is going to come up to this level because we have a nice low price action over here that looks like it wants to kind of test. This would be our order block right here after filling out fair value gaps. And if we go over to the weekly, this is kind of how it looks as a weekly fair value gap fill. So very, very interesting space that we're in. And what I want to do before we get into the market, I know I apologize for being on here too late, is I want to avoid this paper trading paradox, folks. This is something I broke down with my mindset class a couple weeks ago. Try to warm up with a paper trade, which is what we're going to be doing inside of the first 15. I think yesterday when I took my trades, I did warm up, but it was all the way at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then, I went back to bed. Then I came back. I don't think it's the same effect unless I was up from 4 and just went straight through the trading session. So I'm going to try to do some warm-up trades. Just look at my setup and kind of show y'all what I'm looking for. So that way, when we get to while should take a trade, we're going to be looking at our opening range breakouts and our market dominance setup. So that way we can avoid, damn, I'm in a losing streak. Because I did stay green yesterday, but I could have been greener if I actually just remembered to come back to this. And this is one of the big key points that I am focusing on for my community, and I want you to do the same. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this prerequisite. So if you haven't been on my floor before, by all means, I understand, it's okay, but we do a very simple setup. What that setup is, we go into one of my favorite tickers, which is NQ, and we are looking for the first 15 minutes of the market. When that happens, we look for the breakout. When it breaks out, we stay in that direction and follow suit. If you look, yesterday we had a nice little 15-minute orb completely set up. It pulled back down, it gave momentum to the downside, and this was the ride to the downside. And that's what we kind of talked about throughout the floor yesterday, and we're going to go ahead and look for something very similar, even to the upside or downside. So we're going to be bullish at one point and bearish at another. The other thing we are looking for is our market dominance. Which way is the market holding on to? The market just opened up. Which way is the market opening up, and where are they going to look at as far as every single candle? My favorite is the 45-minute for this technique, and what I am going to be looking for, as soon as everything kicks in, there we go, what I'm going to be looking for is kind of like what I did this morning. I saw a tight consolidation, so I think there was a market dominance that was going to be formed, so I made a good chunk of money playing this to the downside, and I knew a reversal was coming, so I got out a little bit before that, which is around order blocks, opening range, wicks, levels, all that stuff. And you can kind of see they got past this wick on this one, so I probably could have made more money, but we'll leave that alone. But either way, it basically said, hey, a green candle is coming, gave it a nice little pullback. It said this was monstrous, and then another green candle came in, and you see it got a nice push, and this is our red candle after the fact. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and get this lined up. So what we're looking for, assuming that this candle is starting to set up, we don't need yesterday's anymore because this doesn't matter to us. It's going to be something that looks very similar to this. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and check out some of my red list tickers. Let me see, what is fun? Let me go ahead and look at some tickers. Kind of looking at that. That could be a good one too. All right, so I'm looking at a potential as far as SoFi. Let's talk about SoFi. If you don't know who I am a SoFi bull, right? I love SoFi. I think they run a really, really good system over there. And we could see right here, was this my 15? Yeah, that is my 15. Okay, so you could kind of see right here, I'm looking for this to probably stay to the downside. So right now we're going to be dealing with a little bit of jambalaya from the pre-market. So I like to kind of like know where my order blocks are. So we're going to go ahead and call this an order block from here to here. Let me go ahead and put that as order blocks. Boom. Oh, Alta, you jerk. You went back to that level? Oh, that's evil. That is so evil. Anyways, nice little opening order block right here. I am going to be bearish on SoFi if it breaks this level. So let me go ahead and put a nice little point here. I'll be bearish somewhere around here if this thing breaks down, but you can kind of see they're already pushing it back up, so we're going to leave that alone. Let's go look at Alta because that hit my alert, and that is very wrong. So wrong. So the Alta, I was actually looking at this monster here. Very, very good company. It just felt like there was an opportunity to play this to the downside, and I knew we were so far away from this gap, and I also knew that this was one of the rejection points here, and I kind of was like looking at this trend. So inside of my trade, I kind of was looking here with a 430 stop, and I had a nice low position, and yeah, that thing never broke back into this gap. That's what I was looking for, somewhere around here, maybe even breaking this setup right here, but they just pulled this thing all the way here. I thought it took off, and I stopped looking at it, but look at that monster candle we put in yesterday. I thought it was just tech that fell. Alta was another one that just fell. Wow. Monster move, monster move. So yeah, just keep an eye on Alta. I would say I would be bearish under 409, even though that nice momentum could have been from about here if I noticed that. Look at that, down here to here. Let me see what the weekly looks like. Yeah, that's the other thing. I really felt like, let me get rid of this drawing. I really felt like they could have tested this fair value gap that's right here that we put in December. So I was very curious on that. Oh, look at that. It rejected the weekly fair value gap. Actually, you know what? I am going to make a note of that. And then Boeing, it broke. Ooh, okay, Boeing. Let me go check out what's going on with Boeing. We broke a June 2022 trend line. Let's see, June 2022. Okay, let me just draw that out. Let's see what this is talking about. So we're talking about from here to here. It tried, okay, attempted to regain the upside here, but I had another alert here. Okay, so we didn't really get into that one, but we could. Oh, I see Boeing, maybe 150 Boeing to 160 Boeing. We'll probably aim for something like that. I would say break here, break there. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into what we're doing. Let's see what's going on with NQ. NQ right now, it is still trying to push that bad boy up. I don't blame him. We had a nice, massive move yesterday as far as going to the downside. So it's gonna do its thing. It's gonna do its thing. Mm-hmm. Let me just go ahead and write myself some notes here. There. Oh, hold on for 1 second. All right, sorry about that. I had to take that phone call. That yeah, that's actually what I just talked. All right, so we get ourselves a nice little move here. We should be able to come down, but let me write down some stuff and let me get this set up here. If you don't take notes of your trades, I suggest that you do so. That way you can remember. I started doing inside of my alerts just because I have a tendency on forgetting what I was doing. I'm starting to write more details in those boxes because your alert, it does give you quite a bit of space right in here and then your alert title. So it's almost like writing an email to yourself. That's what I've been doing lately so I can remember. There was times I just put on the title because I'm trying to rush so bad and I kind of screw myself up on that one. So, all right, let me grab. Who's playing? Okay, one second. Sorry, the kids. All right, so yeah, so we got ourselves 5 minutes until this actually breaks its level. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for that. We'll see if I can set myself up with this trade. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I really like that. That SoFi. It's probably what we're gonna probably roll with. All right, we get these levels in. Okay. All right, so it looks like they came in for a fair value gap down here in this 15 minute. We got 4 minutes left. Let's see what they do with it. And meanwhile, I'm gonna wait for that. We're gonna go ahead and get ourselves set up. I really like that altar. So disrespectful too. Oh my god. What I should have did is looked at it again when we broke through 439. That was one of my levels that I was looking at, and I was in. Yeah, I think that's probably what the reason was. Is that if when I got into that bad boy, probably should have gave it a little bit more room, because they gapped that thing right on up. Very interesting ticker. Very interesting. All right, so we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. They're trying to push this thing back up, but just be patient, folks. Remember, we just play the range. They are not letting this thing just turn bullish. I don't blame them. And let me go on my Thinkorswim. Then I got that set up. Alrighty. So what I'm thinking, let's start with really. Let's start with, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with SoFi. It's nice and cheap. Very, very, very good company. I like them. Let's see what the open interests are. Oh, maybe the open interest is gonna be here because they got earnings around there. No, oh, actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Let's see. I am thinking $13. I think $13. So that's gonna be very interesting. Yeah, let's rock with that. Let me make my notations here. Okay, that's my setup there. I think I'm going to go. So earnings is, what date is it? Does it tell me the date on that earnings? Let me just grab it from TradingView, since this is going to be silly. Is there a reason you're in here?
I need mommy's tablet.
Mommy's tablet? Okay. October. So this was the end of October. So that'll be the end of January. So we're probably going to get earnings somewhere the last week of January. So the contract is the last week of January. That's the thinking there. And $13. Now the crazy thing about it, when it's all said and done, is that we got a 50 EMA at 1426. So I'm looking for this thing to kind of like really have an impact in what is needed. So just give it a few. So let's grab that. Let's grab that. Let me go ahead. Let's get that. All right.
That is his tablet.
And let's Sorry, I had to deal with the little ones. All right, so we got our opening range established right here. So now we're looking for the 5 minute to break out while I'm looking at my SoFi setup and how many contracts I'm gonna get. Um, we're gonna go ahead and wait for this bad boy to move, and then we'll go from there. All right, boom, boom, boom. 1/31. That's the one I want to go with. All right. Come on, baby. Pick a side so we can go ahead and make some money. And don't forget, if you trade oil, keep in mind there is oil news coming in 15 minutes. So if you're in profits, maybe consider getting yourself locked in with your profits with a proper stop loss. If you are just getting into the trade and it's not really panning out the way you expect, maybe cut your losses at a point that you feel comfortable with, and yeah, see how it goes. See how it goes. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. Alright, you see, now we're getting into now. You could kind of see we have a lot of chop inside of here, so this can be very jerkish. Let's go ahead and check out oil while we wait for this to kind of pan out. What are they doing over there? Let's do one of those open range breakouts on that one because it looked like they're starting to build that base. So again, we're talking about bearish below this level, bullish above this level, and that 15 minute is already bearish too. Actually, let me do some top down. Let's come up to the daily. Daily is already on the bullish side, so this could be just retracement. Let's come over to the 2 hour. 2 hour looks like they want to open it up to the downside. 15 minute. Yeah, just if this thing can break through, we're probably gonna get ourselves a nice little push to the downside, but it's we're at the lower register of the Stoke. So that catalyst is our news. That's the one. So let's see what happens at 10 o'clock with this opening range. Does it break out the top and then kind of turns into this W and take out this fair value gap? That would be a good target at $75. Or does it just drop the bottom and just gets out the way and abandons everybody, and then it comes down to maybe as low as 73? So we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. All right. We got NQ. Oh, it's still doing the dance to the upside. Still looking for that. Bear with me as I try to get this trade in. Alright, let me go ahead and knock this out. So I am looking at possibly about $2, 2.25. Trying to get a nice little even price on that. That's what I think. But again, not a fiduciary. I'm just telling you what I like, and I like it a lot. So we'll see how that pans out. Let me go ahead and knock this out. Oh, they're trying to break out that top. If we can get a, so what I want to see is a close above. What I want is for it to just break through. Where are you? Break through, close above it, kind of do like that. That's your candle. I don't care what the wicks do, top or bottom, as long as it's flat in the top and they close the price above it. So we'll see what happens, because you see how fast they rejected that. Oof. Okay, I guess we don't get a trade right now because this thing is pulling it right back. I don't want you to take out too much buy side liquidity, because that's the stuff that can cause a lot of choppiness when it's all said and done. And I don't want this to break. I want this to stay. Hold the door. Hold the door. Hold it. Hold it. Oh man, they are not gonna hold it. They're not gonna hold it. They're not gonna hold it. Look at that. Nice break. We're gonna get an opening range breakout to the downside. Are we gonna get a close below? A close below will make this happen. Which makes my so far it's kind of like a little interesting too. Hold on for a second. Ooh, look at that bounce. So now this is another perfect example of you have to wait for your setup exactly how it's supposed to be. Because what just happened there was not supposed to happen. Look at that. We need a close below so that we can be able to do that. And look what it did. Look what type of disrespect it did. Probably liquidated everybody that thought the same thing.
He invited us to in
Here you go, Baba.
North Carolina for our trip this year. It's
All right, we don't have a break. We don't have a break. So at this time, we're gonna go ahead and test out some entries, making sure we know what our entries are and how to do our entries. All right, so I like what's happening here. So for the most part, the 5 minute is staying bullish, and if we come over to the 15 minute, you'll see that we're in this bearish state. So that's why we get a little choppy. But the 45 minute is already bearish. So to be honest, I'm going to probably look for more downside since they came to test these levels again. And we're probably going to be able to play down to this area here. So I'm going to go ahead and paper trade. We're not going to do this in this account. Yeah, we're gonna leave that account alone. And actually, you know what? Let me paper trade on this screen so that way I don't have to drive myself a little crazy. Let's do Jungie. All right. So I've been testing a 250K account. So we want to go ahead and now again, this is just entries, exits, execution. That way I can stay disciplined as long as it shows the setup that I'm looking for on entering and exits. So this is not with the top-down analysis. My top-down analysis is this. I want to break here and here. And right now we're just going to make sure we are doing some like warm-up passes like a quarterback does on the side, or a pitcher goes in the bullpen. Yes, I said bullpen, not ball pen. Anyways, there's a little joke. I screwed that up. I don't watch enough baseball, but anyways, bullpen, and just see how that goes. I'm looking for one lower time frame to kind of give me a stochastic that I feel comfortable with on trying to short it. And it's thinking about it. This is supposed to be on auto hide, not that. Let me fix this problem. Okay, so we get a little bit of a breakdown here, which is what I want to see. So I'm going to see if we can recapture this level here and come down. Good pullback was there. Let's see if they pick me up, because it looks like we just keep on short in here. Oh, that's a lot more contracts out. Now, I would not do 4. Let me lower this down. Let's just buy back 2. That wasn't too great. I just lost a good chunk of money right there, but it's okay. All right, they're starting to flip it back to bullish, so this is probably not going to pan out well. But I do have another opportunity for me to be able to grab. Just waiting for this stoke. Because what's happening now is that the 5 minutes fighting to stay bullish. It's fighting. Let's see if it can. Because we did get a nice bounce here. So they may test that whole top side of that range. Come on, give me a curl down. Very close on double bottoming. Yeah, that's what this looks like so far. Yeah, they just tested that. Let me go ahead and cut my losses. If it breaks under this trend line again, I might. Oh, actually, that's what I was going to look for. Thought I was going to still be in that 70s. Again, do not play inside of range. Yeah, that's also. Let me cut my losses. Do not play inside of ranges. Again, this is just me just warming up. I'm taking some shots of just how I would enter and exit a trade. For those that don't know how I trade, there goes 10 o'clock. It's probably why we're holding like this in this holding pattern. Actually, let's go check out oil and see what it looks like now. Oh, they almost got above that top. They almost did. Look at that. That would have really gave a nice little push to that upside. But it looks like they rejected that area. So it needs to make a decision. See what happens. All right, let's get back over to NQ. So that trend line I put in, it's almost like they used this as a sweep here. And then now we're above it. And it's look like it's going to hold this trend line. So I think I'm going to go back to being bullish now that Some of my lower time frames are bullish. The 5-minute, you see how we're starting to open up the MACD here. I just needed to kind of reset and give me a little bit of a downward pullback move. Get a little warm. Let's see, what am I down? Down 1K. All right, cool. No problem. All right. So we're getting a little bit of a pullback here. All right, I think I like what that is. All right, so my original was going to be 1. So let's call it here. Call that my buy limit. And if it gets above this range, get another buy limit, maybe around here. Looking for the bulls to kind of like step back in and break this bad boy out. All right, cool. Let's go ahead. Put one here. See if they can pick me up. Don't leave. Nah, baby. Nah, baby. All right, we got 2 minutes and about 2 minutes or so. Give it another and limit here. Let's do another limit there. Oh, come on, baby. You gotta pick up one of these orders. Now that this is kind of scrapped, move this up a little bit into here. Looking for them to pick me up. Come get me. Now, this is a little early for the opening range. This is not an opening range. Again, this is just me warming up. I'm not doing my trade. This is a paper trade. All right. Oh, we broke out of this range. Probably going to have to go with that one. All right. Let's slide that on. See if it can pick me up there. All right. So we got a pickup there. See if we can get ourselves a nice little bounce there. And you're probably looking like, oh, well, JD, where is your stop? Well, I operate a lot with mental stop losses. I know I don't want it to get below the range. And now that yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's see if any one of these holds. Bear with me as I monitor this. All right, so we're going to get a nice little cross again. See if we can get that back and pushing up again and hold for this opening range. Very, very aggressive. It's inside of this paper trade as far as the entry. Because like I said, we want to make sure that the close happens. But this is the second time they're testing the top side. So I do feel like we're going to break this one. And we're going to get a close above. Almost there. We got 7 seconds. I would like to be in with someone north. Ooh, look at that low rejection. That was low value, and that's why you wait for the close. We could have got a better price if we waited for the close, but I anticipated some type of pullback like that. All right, let's go ahead and get myself in with another one of these bad boys. Oh, actually, let me check out oil too. Let's see the breakthrough. Okay. Oil's looking for that top side. Looks like we're probably going to go on the bullish side on oil. Let's see if that actually holds that. So I'm down a bit, about $500 or so on my paper. I'm going to let this 5 minute kind of decide, is it going to stay above there? Because this could have been a very, very strong bear trap, knowing that, hey, we closed above it, and then they just short the crap out of all the bulls here. So I'm holding on steady. I'm very close on turning around and adding another contract, but we're gonna be patient here because this thing can just go ahead and reclaim this entire fair value gap. If they're stopping here, I am going to put I was going to show it to you, but let's go ahead and just close it. I don't want them to recapture that fair value gap. That's what I did not want them to do, and that's what they did. All right, that was an interesting little run. And another beat up. Yeah, boo. Because they're trying to liquidate those that wants to play the opening range to the top side. But we didn't get all of the gap yet. We got 3 minutes left. Let's see what they do with it. Meanwhile, actually, you know what? We got to do this thing. Let me see. Yeah, you see how they took that whole fair value gap? Like, I wanted to stay on the shoulders of giants. That's why I want to kind of do that hold of that fair value gap, but they liquidated all of it, and we kind of right back inside of this range again. Again, another reason why I'm in paper. These FOMC minutes, we can have so much inconsistency, things not holding, ranging up and down. Like, this is one of the other reasons why a good warm up is good. You could go ahead and take your thesis based on that. You're not worrying about the general sense of, oh my God, my paper, I'm negative 250, 2,500. This is terrible. No, that's not what you're worrying about. You are worrying about, did I enter and did I exit the way I want to on how to handle the market and make those responses. That way your mind is flexible. It's nimble. It's almost like stretching a muscle. Your mind, your brain is that muscle that you're stretching. So that way you can get that mental muscle memory on, all right, I gotta close it. It's filling the fair value gap. No need of losing all the money. So in some of my time frames, this thing's starting to look like it's trying to be as bearish as it can. Here's your 1 minute. See how it's crossing? It's very jerkish. Very, very, very jerkish. Okay. So that's that. That's what it's trying to do now. See if we can get ourselves a nice little curl up. Because we came back in, this trend line is holding firm. Let me adjust this trend line because this thing came in very, very much more accurate than I wanted there. Kind of like that. You got these double touches here, and I want to see them kind of like hold it. We made a higher high here, so now this is the new angle of that trend, and those buyers are getting liquidated right now if they just got in. So let's see if we can get it recaptured. Come on, get a nice little push. What I want to see is a nice test around that 385 without taking that out. That's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to see. Now it's looking very bearish. My 5 minute is still bullish, but this thing is probably one of those choppy things that is going to go ahead and do the bearish sentiment here. Let's go check out oil because we kind of did the range on that one. Very similar move, right? And it's still on the bearish side, so this thing could come down. Still no trade. We got one attempt at it, and granted, with our thesis, it probably would have liquidated us. The 5 minute Stoke looks like it's going to cross over this cross over here. So let's see if we can get a finalized crossover. And if we do, maybe we'll play it to the downside and do some warm-ups down there. And for those that are new traders, 90% of trading is literally waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Setup after setup after setup. A lot of reason why I'm happy with paper trading this. Like I said, I got a nice little chunk of change from this morning's drop. So I'm happy with it because it's kind of part of my day's profits. Try to aim for a couple $100 a day. Nothing major. But yeah, they're going to come for this fair value gap right here. They liquidated that whole trend line. There goes that. I need some type of reset. Here comes our reset. Now, this can be just a liquidity grab to push right back up. That is very possible. I want to wait until this 2 minutes and 30 seconds is over. That way, you don't set yourself up for failure. Close below or not, I still want to see this here. So if I'm going to paper trade this with some test trades and entries and exits, I need this to actually hold this stoke down so that way I'm in a sense of a right direction. We were playing to the upside because the stoke was coming through the 50, and we was going to go ahead and try to keep on riding up. If it just took off, we probably would have been in that upper register. But right now, this one right here, it looked like a burr. A minute and 48 seconds left. Let's go check out oil and what's going on over there. It's in its range breakout too. Def cross right here on this 5 minutes, so that's probably why they had a lot of trouble there, and it's probably going to go ahead and do that. These do not fill my fair value gap. Do not. Oh, I filled my fair value gap. That was my target, folks. That was my target. Very jerkish market, very jerkish, but it's getting close to that 1 minute and 20 seconds. You saw that nasty bounce. That was lingering orders that probably was sitting here inside of this imbalances, and they were looking like, oh, I'm not gonna go ahead and chase it up here. I'll buy it when it comes back here, and they were trying to catch that, and they caught knives a little bit as far as trying to play this to the downside, and now looks like the bears have the momentum as we try to get through the block and inside here. But we have to wait for a pullback, even if we were paper trading or not. This is just way, what's this, 104 point drop. They took all the liquidity out of this uptrend. I was just explaining, like, this was a nice move. This could have been a good breakthrough, but again, I don't like to play inside of ranges without confirmation. This still looks like it wants to be bullish. They could take this whole entire thing because this whole entire thing is brand new bears. At least my thesis is that, because this is actually bullish momentum. If we go to the 15 minutes probably going to give you a little bit more of an idea. Probably new 5-minute bulls are going to step in, and then they're going to get smacked by new 15-minute bears. That's a strong possibility, especially with the opening range breakout being here. All right, so solid cross. Let's get a nice little retracement. For my Fibonacci lovers, you could do something like this and just wait for it to get to your 50% and then reject it. That's if you want to do that ride. But me personally, I'm going to look for the momentum in itself and try to see if I can take those bad boys out. Looking for a good reset on one of my stokes. Now this thing can turn into a mother baby or a harami or an inside bar or a morning star. It could do a lot of different things in the next 10 to 20 minutes, um, based on the parameters here. I know we crossed over our 1015 threshold, but I think it's going to give one more leg down, by putting in a brand new fair value gap. On how much of a gap does it put in is going to determine how much is it going to push to the downside. I'm looking for them to test somewhere around 21,176. 21,176 will bring us, let me come to my 45 minute, somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. And that test will let us know what the market is trying to do. I do feel a little apprehensive with the FOMC minutes out. So now that I'm switched over, I'm going light leverage, because the FOMC minutes can take away the volume as people are waiting for those releases. But a nice break below 21,221, with the fact that the 15 minute has crossed. It's going to test this block here and probably bring us to 2190 really easily. It just depends, does the bears have control or not. I really think the move was that 5 minute, but again, it's outside of my trading plan. I don't trade like that, but you could have easily, that nice little trend wedged against the bullish opening range, broke out the bottom, boom, hit the bottom, bang, nice breaker structure, and then just continues down. Very good move if you were, if that's your style of trade, I should say. My job is to just give you some ideas, not to tell you how to trade. I love opening range breakouts. I think it's one of the most simplistic ways of trading. I love my market dominance. This market dominance is the reason why we're putting in this green candle. I'm anticipating a bigger move, so I'd rather let this pullback happen and then we recapture and just dump past it. So I'm just being very patient on that regard. Let's give it another 5 minutes and see if we can get this MACD to stay open and then probably come way down to like this register here. If it does drop in price and it doesn't get into this lower register, we're going to start putting in some bullish divergences. So that's going to be very interesting, especially as they're trying to liquidate some of the more recent bears with this push up. We're starting to get back inside of that opening range, looking for opening range rejection. Come on. Opening range reject. Come on, reject it. Reject it. Reject it. Come on. Because if they take this back up, it's just another sweep. It's just another sweep. Come on. Come on, baby. Now, I know some people that waits for this break close and then they have an order here and they would be in for the downside based on that, which would look something like this. And then they use that area as a target, and then their stop loss is probably going to be like a structural change, or maybe here, or maybe like the 50%, where I think it was somewhere deep inside of here, and then get like a 2-to-1 ratio, probably like right here. I know some people that trade like that. I don't like it, because I'm more of a breakout trader than a reversal trader, so I get very antsy and try to adjust my stop loss when I'm too red. So I think that doesn't work well for me. Love my breakouts. Love my breakouts. All right, let's see what's happening here. All right, returned a little bit more to the bearish side. Let's see if we can get some reset of some oscillators, because that was a nice little push there. Very mother baby. Now what you want for the mother baby, you have your mother, you have your baby, then you want reversal. That's what you want to see. But we're taking some stabs at the baby now. That baby is catching some knives from these bears. I would love for this thing to just reset well. I want to see it retest 72, maybe even 80 before it drops again. But it's oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. All right, now see if you can go ahead and drop, because that would probably spring a bear trap to the downside. Do they take the baby out with an engulfing candle? Looks like it's struggling to do so, but it's a strong possibility that's what they're going to do. Oh, come on now. You almost took out that baby. You're not going to take out the baby? You're not going to take out the baby? Not going to take out the baby. Let's get out of that trade. So what I was looking for was for them to like really kind of like engulf this candle. I know there's a minute and 52 seconds, but where I entered, I was not going to risk more than 20 bucks on the trade. Now, this could be the next move for it. If this thing can recapture that wick in the next minute and so. All right, looks like it's failing to recapture that wick. Now you want a strong bullish momentum for the continuation. So you got mother, deceitful baby. It's a reversal. It goes against the mother, and then out of nowhere it just kind of like takes over, and then now you got yourself a brand new trend, the baby of the new trend. A whole bunch of green candles that comes after it. But we'll see. Maybe it'll give it. Those that want to see that opening range to the downside is really putting some effort to it. Yep. I think that was it. That was the only move. Oh, but you're gonna have to take out the fair value gap in like 34 seconds, or this thing might just kind of like fail. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and grab a paper trade of something that I would possibly enter if I was going to take this trade. I do not like ranges. Never work out for me. FOMC is probably why we rejected like this. All that volume died as we're trying to get into this thing. Let me see. I want to scale in with 8. Let's get 2 more in here. Nice little solid kick. So let me go ahead and put one there, because I want to recapture this whole entire fair value gap. And if we take out this top, slide it up again. Ooh, come on, get me in there. All right, that got me in. All right, let's go get that. Let's go get the rest of that fair value gap. I want to put this right on top of the kick. Just get back above this register. Come on, baby. Come on. Y'all owe me some money too. Y'all took a lot of my paper money. Now it looks like they're gonna go ahead and retest this kick, which is not what I wanted. All right, let's see if we can go ahead and get a reversal here. I'm gonna need another one because I'm gonna go with a possibly of about 8. Come on, get back up that register. Come on. They are being such jerks. That's why, you see what I mean by ranges? Ranges is areas where bears and bulls exist. So we could be liquidating some bulls and then liquidating some bears, and then new bears are coming in because this is a place that they feel like they get a good discount on. See, look at this. Look at this thing. Look at that thing. I'm not going to add another one until we get into that upper register. Come on, get up in there. Get up in there. There we go. And go ahead and slide that right there. All right. Got another one in there. All right, that looks good. Just in case it comes back again. Looking for all of it to kind of continue. Come on. So my target would be somewhere around, let me just go ahead and put that up here so y'all can see it. My target would be somewhere around here. I'm gonna probably put it at the 50, probably right here. Oh, come on. That's why I don't like ranges. Ranges is almost like you gotta kind of like go in with your full Monty and then go with it. I just don't like doing that. I like scaling. I really do. And it was looking real pretty, especially when it had popped up here and then picked up another contract, and they kind of supposed to just continue with bullish momentum. Come on. Where my bulls at? Come on, baby. You put in. Now, the mother baby is kind of weak, but I was kind of banking on the fact that this is a very long wick, and anywhere on this wick is probably some bulls that's waiting. But if this 5 minute closes under here or gets way too low on this wick, I have to cut it. I just have to. Yeah, and breakouts, I'm telling you, when you get a clean breakout like that, every time you add a contract, it's like bang, takes off, bang. I love those. Those are great. But this doggone ranging thing, where people like, I know a good trader friend of mine that trades with ranges, and he can ride this, then he shorts, then he pulls, no. I hate those things. Give me liquidity, or give me death. That's what I want. It's nothing but liquidity. And right now I'm trying to liquidate those bears, but they're being emboldened because of this range. Come on, baby. Stay above that. Stay above it. Do not go below this bearish line. What I'm assuming is this was an accumulation phase. This wasn't an accumulation phase. This was a wait to see what would happen phase. And they're starting to panic. But they got good profits in this case. And the 5 minute is still on the bearish side of the MACD. But good. We didn't get past that 50% of this line. So I want to see this thing just reverse here. But it needs to be... It didn't get above the line. It did not get above the line. Stop loss will be here. I have no choice. Let me just put something here. Stop loss will be here. Actually, slightly off. You're going to have to sweep for me. And knowing the market, it probably would sweep. Especially we're in this rangy FOMC standstill. This thing would sweep, go low, bing, and then just take right back off and then hit my target. It would do some foolishness like that. So let's see how this paper trade goes. And then after that, we'll probably shut it down here. It's past our 10-15 level. Ooh, it gets back in here. Yeah, I'm going to have some fun with it. Because you made me weather the storm. It did pull back quite deeply. Not the greatest. But just following technique, following philosophy. Get a nice little curl of this 5 minute. show that this opening range breakout to the downside does not have any strength. Recapture this wick, which is going to take the liquidity of all those that stepped in. You see, and that's what I was fearful of. When we broke this level and we kind of came back in here, granted my line is not the greatest because it's really down here. Look at that. They're gonna stop me out right in here. I know you are. I know you are. And then you're gonna reverse right after. I need a nice bearish liquidation here. Bear side liquidity. Come on, grab them. I do feel like the 5 minute is stair stepping its way back up. That's what I'm kind of banking on. Oh, been as low as down 100 and some odd ticks. I don't trade on the 5 minute very often. I'm a scalper by heart, so I'm in like really small micro time frames. They are trying their best to be bearish, but they can't get it. They can't get it. It's trying. So this is what I'm looking at. This is the why we're struggling. I felt like this 1 minute was about to just take in and just explode right through the zero line. And then there was this order of bears that just really held this down. So it's taking away the momentum. So this thing could just flip right back over and then just take all of this out. Very possible. But I'm looking at the 5 minute and I'm thinking it's literally doing this dance because they know they want to take out this wick here. Actually, I'm confident that they're trying to take out this wick. We're going to go ahead and do something fun. Let's see if they pick that up on the way. And like I said, there is, you see how small these candles are now? There is no volume, and I mean no volume in the market after 10 o'clock. You could just kind of feel that. Now we gave it another kick right there. Let's see if this kick survives. All right, I'm positive 11. Let's see if they pick this up. Bang, come on. Let's get that fair value gap. Bang. All right, that is a good trade. Bang, and that's out of there. Leave my runner. Let's see, that was my 50 EMA. Bang. All right, let's go ahead and put this into profit. Bang, that looks good. Bang, it just literally turned me into positive. And this is the difference, right? This is the difference. I know, again, I don't play in ranges because you see how much pullbacks that is. You gotta be comfortable with a lot of these pullbacks. I don't like ranges. I hate them. I really do hate them. So I was able to kind of clean up majority of the junk, right? And I was able to, I peaked out at like $700 on this runner, using this momentum. Right now I'm looking for more bulls to come in and get us on the opening range on this side, because we already tested it here and here. Actually, take that back. Where's 930? We established here, tested it here, broke down, and then we tested the downside here and here. They took me out. Boom. $277. That was a lot of work for $277. But again, I'm not caring about the P&L. If I did, I would have probably topped out at the end of the target, which my original target was the fair value gap. But my goal was to just execute how I would normally execute a trade to the best of my ability and just understand my entries. I was looking for more of a target since I unloaded so many contracts back into the market. And I think, they probably just came from my stop loss and they still going to do it anyways. That said, I want to say thank you very much for participating. If you like this video, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and the bell button. I know it was a little bit drawn out than my normal videos, but don't forget, there is still discounts going on for Elite. The link's down below. Don't forget to hit my link tree. I am going to start next week my January free classes. If you want to ask your boy any question in the world, all right, just make sure you save my link tree. It's going to start next week. I'm going to post it on my Instagram. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, take the time, go ahead. It's JD_the_great on Instagram, and I'm going to be starting that very, very soon. You fill out the form, I send you a calendar invite, and you can ask me whatever question you want to know as far as trading. That said, I want to say thank you very much. You have a great day and good luck. Oh, wait for 2 o'clock FOMC. Don't forget that.